I'm Doug, and this is the Taste and Sensibility channel, and we are at Mild Melty Cheeses episode number 11, where we're looking at this stinky cheese called Ogleshield or Ogleshield. I found this listed in Liz Thorpe's good book, The Book of Cheese, and it says it was invented or developed by one of the guys who did it is behind Somerset's Montgomery Cheddar, which is very famous. And then the cheese that they first developed kind of changed over the years. It became a washed rind cheese, which seals in some of the moisture, so it became a wetter, moistier, meltier cheese. But I'm getting some aromas from that washed rind. So we're going to get into it and taste and smell and pair and put it into a mac and cheese, I think. First, please like this video if you like the videos you've been seeing here on cheeses and whiskeys and other things. Leave comments and questions down below, share it with friends, and subscribe to the channel and click that bell to get notified. So this is a funky cloth or cloth rind or something all around it. It's got little incursions of things growing, mold, something. So I could cut it this way and have 3 edges to cut off, or I could just cut it this way and have 1 edge to cut off. So I think I'll do this. So I can tell there's going to be some strong aromas and flavors. Hope I get big enough pieces. I took the pointier end for the mac and cheese part. Yeah, it's sort of coming off the knife. Let me get some more. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Do a little whoop. Look, he's an acrobat. Okay, I think I can taste it here. Close to the rind, but not the rind. Ooh, pasty. Oh, tart. There's a tartness to it. And funky, something nutty about it. Wow, it's just complicated. Yeah, the part close to the rind has the funkiest notes and the strongest notes. A little crumbly, a little wet and pasty. And then there's a tang, a sulfury, oniony tang. So it might not be for everybody, but wow. Very interesting, well constructed. A little salty here. I'm trying to figure out if it's salt or if it's that acidic tang. Okay, I'm gonna put it on a piece of flatbread and see if I get other things going on. So there's kind of a little mold incursion or rind incursion, but I think I'll just go ahead and eat it. Can't be any worse than the rest of the flavors. So the flatbread moderates some of the stronger points or more intense things. It's still salty, it's tangy, you can tell there's dairy notes, but they are more distant from the milk it's made from than some of the other cheeses in this group. So this has a higher age, and it's still creamy and moist inside. So I'm liking it. I'm going to change crackers here. I'm going to cut this in the quarters and use those. I'm going to try one of the squares on a Triscuit, a low salt Triscuit, but here goes. Creamy, dairy, some of the savory flavors come through from the cheese, but the wheat in the Triscuit is pretty strong too. That's a big husky cracker. Wow, it goes well. It covered up the funk. So I just got nicer dairy notes and very little of the funky stuff. Okay, that's an interesting effect. Now on a multi-grain cracker. Yeah, there's lots of aroma here. Some old cheese somewhere is what you think. Saltiness from the cracker, saltiness from the cheese. Dairy notes, slightly funky. Stronger things were moderated, so it wasn't as intense as my first couple bites of just cheese. I want to see how this rye thing does. It's a very plain rye cracker. Probably not much in it, but rye, maybe salt. Okay, let's try it on this one. Super plain cracker, not very salted. The cheese is saltier and funkier, more flavorful. It's like someone's old shoes. And I got a few creamy dairy notes, but they're not that close to milk. Okay, so I'm liking the cheese, but it is way more flavorful than most members of this group or series. So if you look at Liz's flavor scale or spectrum for these cheeses, this is way to the intense side and way up in the specialty shop side. And I did get this at a cheese shop. Oh, there's so much. I want more. Yeah, that'll help. So I will show the, I guess I've got a picture of the cheese in the case. It's a cheese shop, and I've got it in the wrapper. So this generates a little debris that you got to get rid of or allow for. And your any tastings you set up. I was thinking about using this last slab for a pairing with a strawberry. So I got some half strawberries here. I'll just put this down on this and see how it goes with that. Great contrast between the fruitiness, the wateriness of the strawberry and the funky, salty, creamy mouthfeel of the cheese. Wow, that worked. Great flavor contrast, great texture contrast. Okay, Quinn. I'm just going to take the cheese and put a couple of dried cranberries on. Another aspect of fruitiness. So, very small. There wasn't enough cranberry to stand out. The cheese flavors are overwhelming, mouth coating, and persistent. And you really have to bite into that cranberry to get any of that sweetness or fruitiness or flavor. So I've got some pepper jellies here. So go look at the pepper jelly video. And both of these are in there. The first one I'm going to try is Southern Roots Sisters Raspberry Chipotle Jam. I'm going to put a decent amount of pepper jelly on a big chunk of cheese. Good sized slab. I think I'll taste both parts. Let's find out. Wow. They don't integrate very well. Smoky chipotle flavors for sure. Raspberry jam, I'm not sure I can tell it's raspberry. But then the cheese, I mean the jelly disappeared quickly, being water soluble, and the cheese hung around longer. So it didn't really mesh, mix, integrate, any of those things. So, might be the same kind of results on the other pepper jelly, which is a 5 pepper jelly from Old Homestead. But I liked it a lot in the video, so I'm going to try it here. So 5 different chilies in this very plain home-style pepper jelly recipe. Tried to chew more and mix it up first before swallowing and really tasting. And that, wow, that's getting along. That's interesting. Spiciness, sweetness, wetness from the jelly, and the cheese is funky, dairy, mouth coating, fat, rich. Okay, that is not too bad. I'm liking that. So I want to try. There's a kind of nuttiness to the cheese flavors. And I know sunflower seeds have had strong flavors here in the past. So I just want to put a few on and see if the nuttiness is a good complement or interferes with one or the other. So let's find out about this. Sunflower seeds, Ogleshield, and flatbread. That's great. Very savory flavors popping all over the place. So the nuttiness, roasted nuts, sunflower seeds, taste, aroma, everything about it goes along well with the flavors of the cheese, the texture of the cheese. Lots of contrast and lots of things that are meshing well. I don't know how to describe the nuttiness of the cheese, but it gets along with the sunflower seeds just fine. So man, that's a pretty good cheese. So I'm going to leave this here and come back with a mac and cheese made with this stuff. Will it be too much? Will it be too funky? We'll find out shortly. So I'm back with this wonderfully stinky, creamy, and tasty mac and cheese I've made from that UK cheese called Ogleshield. So definitely have the aroma of that funkiness. It's a single serving recipe that uses 2.7 ounces of cheese, 2.7 ounces of macaroni, and makes a roux, thicken some milk, and throw in the cheese and dump it over cooked pasta. So you can see on the overhead camera it's pretty creamy. I'm getting some of the cheese aromas from this far away. So let's give it a taste and see what's in here, and how it melts and how it handles mac and cheese. There's a creaminess, there's a sweetness to it. Can't say I picked up on the cheese that much or didn't say anything about it. Certainly has the tanginess, the acidic bite is there. Some of the funky notes now taste more like broccoli, asparagus, cauliflower, cabbage. Interesting, it's a different window on the thing. It's still kind of a funky, strong flavored cheese here. So this recipe wouldn't be for kids, I wouldn't think. But it's very smooth, it melted well, it melted readily. And the mac and cheese, I'd probably do that on a sandwich or making some interesting broiled cheese bread or something like that. This would probably be a good cheese with very interesting features. When you try some of those things, so don't be scared, don't be afraid of strong flavors, strong aromas, and rinded cheese in this group, because they're still good melters and they're very tasty. So this is maybe one of the most exotic things we've done so far in this mild melty cheese series, but we're going to keep on going and try to find more things like this. So again, like this video, leave questions and comments. Have you had Ogleshield or something like it? Share this video with friends, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell to get notified. And come back for more. Cheers.